Well, breaking news for today's episode before we get into the semi-final of the FA Cup. Our semi-final goalkeeper, our second-choice goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega Moreno, has already agreed personal terms with Leverkusen over a summer transfer. We've expected Ortega to go after he played hardly any games for the club this season. Personal terms have already been agreed with Stefan Ortega and Bayer Leverkusen for a return to Germany with a top side in Leverkusen, which is good to see. And of course, now they must agree a fee with the club. Manchester City, we're looking for I'd say around 18 million for Stefan Ortega, considering he's got 1 year left in his contract. But hopefully the news and, of course, him moving away from the club doesn't affect his performance going into the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. So today's episode will kick off with the Emirates FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. We have drawn Leeds United in the semi-final and Chelsea have drawn Arsenal. This weekend we'll know who's going to the FA Cup final at the end of the season. We don't underestimate Leeds United by any means. They have currently got on loan Jacob Wright from Manchester City in the midfield who's excelling there. They're top of the Championship, around 20 points clear with 100 points top of that. They're coming back to the Premier League, and also they're a bit of a giant killer as well at Leeds United. They beat Man United in the quarter-finals. They beat Portsmouth by 2-0, and they also beat, in a replay, Liverpool by 1-0. So we're expecting they're looking to knock out a big side in Manchester City here today. The Wembley Stadium, Manchester City versus Leeds United here in the Emirates FA Cup semi-final. Can Leeds cause another upset in a big game? That is obviously their intention. Stone steps there on Rutter. Bit of a one-man band, Rutter, and he's through here. Rutter, what a start for Leeds. This could be Rutter. Kyle Walker gets a good tackle in. But he looks a top player, and obviously a top player at Brighton. Grealish, Kovacic makes a run. Grealish still. Grealish, great running by Grealish. Grealish, still going. Back into Bob. Oscar Bob hits one and drags it at the near post behind for a goal kick. Good running by Grealish there. Jack Grealish from Manchester City. Well, he's not a favourite with the Leeds fans. He's Jack Grealish. Kovacic back out to Grealish. Bernardo Silva. Rico Lewis. Back onto Oscar Bob. Skill by Bob against Byram, he can't beat him. Walker, Rodri, back over to Walker here, great ball, Walker, to the far post, Jack Grealish arriving with a diving header. He takes a kick in the process, and Jack Grealish gives City the lead here in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Lifted up and over by Kyle Walker to the far post, lovely reverse ball by Rodri here to Walker. He's in behind, he lifts it to the far post, a kick in the head nearly for Grealish as Roberts tries the acrobatics to clear it. A diving header for Grealish, who scores another goal this season. Brilliant from Grealish. And City have the lead against Leeds United at Wembley. And it's Jack Grealish with the FA Cup semi-final goal. Spacing behind for Somerville. Walker waits. Right away into Somerville, who runs at the City defence here. Ruben Diaz, the captain, chases Somerville. Past Diaz. Options. Ake dives in. Down in the box goes Somerville. It's a penalty. Well, Nathan Ake very brave to dive in like that, I suppose, or stupid, you could say. Sliding for the challenge, I thought he'd win it. Somerville goes over the tackle from Ake, and it's a penalty for Leeds, who are going to score anyway. And it's Somerville versus Ortega. And Somerville sends Stefan Ortega the wrong way. Leeds United have an equaliser here at Wembley. It's 1-1. I said we don't underestimate Leeds. This won't be an easy game. And 1-1 it is. Good finish from Somerville from the spot. Ake gives away a penalty. I'm not too unhappy with him, really. He's a last-ditch challenge to try and stop Leeds from scoring there. They were lining up in the box. And that is half-time. The referee blows the whistle. We should have hit a shot there, maybe, with John Stones. Half-time, all level between City and Leeds, 1-1. Rodri. Oh, bad ball by Rodri to Kovacic. Counter could be on here. Ball through which Walker can't cut out. It's Joel Pirot. Ruben Diaz across. He's lost Somerville. Chance for Leeds again. Somerville is in here. Good save by Stefan Ortega. All over top by Rico to Grealish, who gets a head on it, straight back down to Leeds. Rodri's in there with a brilliant challenge, Rodri. Fantastic, Grealish. In behind to Mateo Kovacic, who's made a forward run here, Kovacic. Back out to Grealish. Bernardo Silva. Stones. On towards Oscar Bob. Bob for City, Bob good running. Bob. Pulled it back. It's Rico Lewis! What a palm around the post by the goalkeeper. Stones back out, Grealish, who's lost it to Perkins here. Rodri, Stones again. Into Bernardo Silva, good ball. Oscar Bob for City. Bob with space here. Bob drives. Bob with a chance! Just past the post by Bob. He tried to bend that from a narrow angle. A difficult one. It nearly comes off. Bernardo for City. Grealish. Bernardo didn't continue. Bernardo makes that pass there, and then he's got to continue the run he doesn't do. The counter's on. That is full time in the Emirates FA Cup. It's extra time between City and Leeds in this semi-final. Away from Stones. Turn here and Oscar Bob. Rothwell. Can't win it, can Oscar Bob. Byram the fullback, bursting forward here, Byram. Rico Lewis looks to stop the cross. Byram off Oscar Bob's arm and into the hands of Stefan Ortega. And it's going to be a free kick, Leeds United, for that arm of Oscar Bob there. Ball in by Ampadu. Away by John Stones to Bernardo Silva. Could be a bit of a counter on here. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's past the Leeds United defenders. What are they doing? Bernardo Silva for City. He's not the quickest, but he's going here. Bernardo holds off Rodon. Bernardo Silva! Bernardo Silva for Manchester City on the counter. What a mistake by Leeds at the back there. And it's Bernardo again. Running down the wing. Making the Blue Boys sing. We're all going to the FA Cup final at Wembley. We're already at Wembley. Brilliant goal from Bernardo Silva on the counter. That's so crushing for Leeds. A free kick headed away. Bernardo turns. He's not the quickest, but he's got the skill. And he puts in the back of net. Brilliantly does Bernardo Silva. Manchester City 2. Leeds United 1. In a hard-fought game, this one. Diaz. Stones. McAtee. Savinho. Back to McAtee. McAtee. Across to Ivan Toney for the tap-in for 3. That was the FA Cup final there for City. Making a burst through. Nathan Ake, who's made a bad tackle already once today. Did better that time. Diaz. Away to Bernardo Silva. Ivan Toney. Toney on the turn. Full-time whistle goes. Manchester City have going to the FA Cup final. Credit to Leeds United, actually, because they did really well to push it all the way in extra time. But City are going to the FA Cup final for 3 successive seasons in a row. And this time, after last time, we're looking to go and win it. Who do we face? Chelsea or Arsenal? We'll find that out very soon. Well, the Emirates FA Cup semi-finals the next day. Chelsea played Arsenal and Chelsea come out 3-2 winners. So it will be an FA Cup final. Manchester City versus Chelsea. Let's get a report here. One of our players out on loan in Joshua Wilson-Esbrand. He's made 14 appearances for Nottingham Forest so far. No goals and 4 assists though from a fullback position. A promising left back with excellent pace, dribbling and defensive skills in fact. His ability to support attacks and provide quality crosses makes him a versatile asset ready for further development and exposure. However, I think from what the scouts have seen, we don't believe that further development and exposure will be at Manchester City. And I think when he comes back this summer from the loan, we will look to sell him on to maybe a Premier League side, a Championship side, or someone who will pay around 4 or 5 million for Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, make a profit on the young fullback who I just don't think has the quality to make it at Manchester City and be a Pep Guardiola fullback, a position we need to improve on in the future. This is how the Premier League title race is looking, with 4 points behind Liverpool. They've played a game in hand here. They played Everton. They won 3-2 against Everton, meaning they have 4 points clear. If we win the game we have today against Brighton, Hove Albion away from home, Brighton not having the best of seasons, they sit down in 12th position, but that's okay for a side like Brighton. If we're to win that, we'll be still within touching distance, within 1 point of Liverpool. We need them to slip up somewhere, Liverpool. Whether that happens, I don't know, but we just keep doing our job, and our job today is to beat Brighton. Well, this is a very good-looking Brighton side, actually, in terms of quality in that team, but form, they're out of it. 2 losses, 2 draws and 1 win in their last 5 in 12th position. João Pedro, Pedro Goncalves and Minte start as the front 3. Vifer and Moda in the midfield 2 with Lamptey and Estupiñán in wing-back roles. Van Hecke, Captain Dunk and Igor along the back 3 with Verbruggen in goal. On the bench you've got Calabria, Adingra, Jason Steele, Ferguson, Webster, Belabor and Danny Welbeck. But I'm expecting a tough game today at the Amex. List the Manchester City side today. Edison starts in goal. It is Stones, Diaz and Akanji and Gvardiol the back 4. Rodri, Guimaraes and Foden in the midfield 3 with Doku, Toney and Savinho the front 3. Toney a little bit tired but he's back in there again. We've got Grealish, Bob, Bernardo Silva, Kovacic, Ake and Walker and Stefan Ortega on the bench. Rico Lewis misses out today. But a strong City side is always our strongest side as we look to pick up 3 points in the Premier League to stay 1 point behind Liverpool in this league title race, which is getting close and close to the end. And it's looking like a Liverpool Premier League title. We're away at the Amex here for Manchester City. João Pedro, the Brazilian up top, is one to look out for. He has scored 3 in his last 3 games for Brighton. Minte and also Pedro Goncalves in that front 3 for Brighton make them a very exciting and a very good side. One that Pep Guardiola knows he's got a big game up against. Guimaraes. In behind to Jeremy Doku, who's in behind here. Doku at the start of this one. Saved by Verbruggen and Foden into the side netting. Oh, bad ball by Rodri. Counter Brighton. Joao Pedro. What a bad ball by Rodri. Diaz can't make the challenge. Poe. Big counter for Brighton. Away from Stones here. Akanji across. Manu Akanji. Brilliant from Akanji again. And Rodri in there to win it back for City. And he can apologise for that poor pass, Rodri. Up against Igor. Fellow Brazilian, but he's already passed him, Savinho. Igor recovers. Savinho fires it back to Bruno Guimaraes. Falls to Doku at the far post. What a save by Verbruggen again. Bad ball by Guimaraes. Doku goes and nicks it back. Foden. In behind towards Savinho. Against the Stupinian. It's past him. Savinho. Cross one in off the hands of Van Hecker. Behind for a corner. He had his hands in the air there. The German. Oh, the Dutchman. It could be Dutch Van Hecker. Foden. Doku with a strike with the left foot. He absolutely wraps his foot around that one. Foden. Savinho. Great play by City. Savinho again. Savinho pulls it across. No one in the box, City. Gvardiol and Minte. Minte bursts away from Gvardiol. Akanji can't make the challenge. Minte's in here. Options in the box. Minte into the box here. Ruben Diaz. Brilliant challenge by the captain. Guimaraes can't get it away. Doku slides in on Lamptey. Diaz with a foul in the box. Lamptey with a heavy touch and it's behind for a goal kick. Running at Stupinian. He's passed in Stupinian. And Foden continues his run here. And here's Phil Foden. The referee blows the half-time whistle as Phil Foden goes through. Half-time 0-0 with Brighton. We've had so many chances and so many chances missed. Foden. City fans roar. They want the team to attack. And look at that run by Savinho. And it's lifted over to him by Phil Foden. Savinho into Ivan Toney. Good take by Toney. Ivan Toney! Big goal for City in the title race. 2-1. Good ball by Savinho here. Just finds that pass perfectly. And Ivan Toney with a strike. Past the goalkeeper for Verbruggen. First time we've beaten him today. Another one for Ivan Toney, who's scored a hell of a amount of goals this season since joining in January. 1-0 Manchester City. He's been a brilliant signing. I'm so glad we did sign him because without Erling Haaland, I think we would have really struggled. He's been out pretty much all season. Start from Brighton, Murder. Kanji beaten by Joao Pedro. What a chance for Brighton to score straight away. Joao Pedro hits the post and we ride our luck there completely in the title race. Rodri, Toney. Great play by Ivan Toney. Joško Gvardiol. Phil Foden. Foden back in behind to Gvardiol, the fullback. Gvardiol for City. Gvardiol for City makes it 2-0. Joško Gvardiol scores from that left-hand side. Phil Foden with the assist. Brilliant goal from our fullback. 2-0, and from Brighton hitting the post at one end, City going at the other end and sort of confirming this game as 3 points is absolutely massive. Really rode our luck. Joao Pedro hitting the post. Great ball through by Phil Foden. And Joško Gvardiol's through. Right in the side netting pass for Verbruggen. Good finish by Gvardiol. Strikers finished that one. Like an Erling Haaland going through by City's number 24. Across the near post. Taken down by Oscar Bob. That's a poor ball by Brighton. And Bob leads a counter for City here. Oscar Bob. Bob, he's past the Stupinian. Brilliant from Oscar Bob. Bob for City. Into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva taking out Rodri. Gvardiol. Back to Doku. Bernardo Silva, Doku. Doku keeps it somehow. Gvardiol, Kovacic. Joško Gvardiol. Cross in. Bernardo is there. It's over him and away by Brighton. How is it not 3? I don't know. Oscar Bob. Great feet by Bob. He's past Igor Bob. Brilliant from Oscar Bob for Manchester City. Bob for City here. Bob lays it off to Jeremy Doku to make it 3-0 City. A goal for Doku. Unselfish from Oscar Bob for Manchester City, who lays it off to the Belgian. 3-0. 3 points. 3 goals and a clean sheet. Building up that goal difference, which is going to be important. If we do overtake Liverpool, it could go down to goal difference. Great play from Oscar Bob, who's so silky on that right side. Lays it off to Jeremy Doku. Just digs it out. Make sure he finishes it off, Doku. The Brighton fans have gone home. It's an empty ground here at the Amex. Brighton 0, Manchester City 3. Thought it could be a serious one. Full-time goals, Brighton 0, City 3. We know Liverpool have already won their game. That only puts us within 1 point of them. The title race continues between City and Liverpool, and it is tense. It is exciting, and it could go either way. While the Premier League title race still looking the same, we're way ahead of Liverpool on goal difference. Way ahead. But 1 point behind going into those final few games. I don't think we're going to do it. I think Liverpool will win every game. Those 7 draws maybe have done us. We've actually lost less games than Liverpool. We've drawn more games. Spurs are just in a top 4 race now. I don't think they're in the title race, really. They'll finish 3rd, I'm sure. United will probably finish 4th. Arsenal are all the way down in 8th. I can't believe that. Further down you go as well. It's Ipswich down, Wolves down, and then between Southampton, Everton and Bournemouth all level on points. Wow, even Leicester could be dragged into that one. The final fixtures for Liverpool are fixtures in their next game. Who do they play? We play Forest away next, which will be a tough one. Liverpool, they play West Ham United away. West Ham tend to do City a big favour, don't they? West Ham in a bit of a precarious position in 14th. So maybe West Ham can do City a favour again. As we go into May, City play Wolves at home. And Liverpool will play Spurs at home. That's a big one if 3rd place Spurs can beat them. We then play Fulham away. And Liverpool play Villa away. Ooh, they play Fulham away. And we play Spurs away. Spurs away is a difficult one for us. But that Liverpool running, Villa, Spurs, West Ham. We've got Spurs and West Ham as well. They've got a harder running than us. Maybe Villa, West Ham, Spurs could do City a massive favour. Well, in today's episode, on ahead, looking for the future. Scouting players and scouting Florian Wirtz of Bayer Leverkusen. Kevin De Bruyne is still injured and lots of worries around Kevin De Bruyne's future at Manchester City. We don't exactly know where it's going due to that ACL injury, which seems to be taking a long time, longer than usual to recover from. And at his age, we think that maybe Kevin De Bruyne's time at Manchester City might just be over. 30 appearances so far for Bayer Leverkusen this season, all competitions of Florian Wirtz. 14 goals and 15 assists. That's a fantastic return. Double figures for both. He's a versatile attacking midfielder, excels exceptional vision, quick dribbling and precise passing. He's strong in tight spaces, he's creative, he's technically gifted, and he consistently delivers key contributions. A potential future star in Europe, if not already a star in Europe. He is certainly one of those players, top of my list to replace Kevin De Bruyne if De Bruyne was to go. He's going to be very expensive, however. We're talking 140, 150 million pounds, and whether Manchester City are willing to spend that on a single player, I'm not quite sure, considering there's certainly other areas in the team we need to improve upon, and there's certainly players that could be leaving the club this summer that we're not exactly sure on. Maybe Kyle Walker's the one that at the moment is most likely to leave. Of course, with Stefan Ortega as well. Walker at the end of his contract, Ortega already wanted to move. But yeah, Florian Wirtz, got to keep an eye on him. Hopefully Bayern or Real Madrid don't make a move for him and we can stay around and figure out if it's feasible to make a move for Florian Wirtz and some other players as well. Thank you for watching this episode. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see these videos extended and early. Why don't you join the We Are City Members Club? It's certainly worth it and it's certainly good. We'll see you next time.